Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Peace and power, family. It's been a little while since we've done a collected thoughts, so we thought we would chime in. This month, the theme of the khutb, of the sermons that we've been having here at our masjid is the Qadr of Allah that you dislike. And true to form, there was an event that occurred that granted us an experience we thought that we should share with you all. Yesterday, late afternoon, I'm taking a drive to pick up my daughter from her job. And not too far from the home. And going around a bend, right, on a road. And I'm driving. And I hear this click, click, boom, right? And it's my car. And I need to get control of the vehicle. I'm kind of skidding a little bit. And I'm in the middle of a circle, like a little bend, right? So, of course, we're in the neighborhood, but there are cars. We're on a main road in the neighborhood. Cars are coming through, right? So I'm obstructing traffic. And I get out to see what it is. The front passenger wheel of the vehicle is dislocated, and that entire side of the car is on the ground, right? So appears to be the ball joints, and looks like the axle broke as well. So, all right. So it's a little bit of an emergency situation. I throw on my hazards. I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do. My daughter still has to be picked up from her job and get her home. And I got this car in the middle of the road, and traffic is getting, backed up, and, this type of a thing. So I called a tow truck company that I used fairly recently, and I called them to come out. He gives me a price. It's towing, so the price is the price. And fine, I'm calling him, it's on the way. I do some more thinking. And in my doing some more thinking, I realized, wait a minute, why am I calling a tow truck and paying for a tow truck when I have insurance on my vehicle? I pay my insurance every month, and I have roadside assistance. So why not just call roadside assistance? Fine. I call them, and they tell me that they can't find me in the system. They can't find me by the policy number that I'm giving them. That's inside of the app where I pay for the insurance every single month. They can't find me with my name. They can't find me with my number. They can't find me with my address. And because they cannot identify me in the system, and it's the weekend, and their main offices aren't open, the only thing that I can do is pay for a tow truck through them, and then later on during the week, call the main offices and set up to get reimbursed. Okay, so I go and I do that. And I pay for the service. Fine. So now that tow is on the way. 60 to 90 minutes to get here. I call the first company and say, well, listen, I got a tow on the way. Don't worry about it. I got something. Okay, no problem. If you need us, give us a call. Okay. My tow is on the way. So in an expression of gratitude to Allah, I'm there and just trying to figure things out, right? I'm just kind of standing on the road. It's hot, right? It's the summertime. It's a hot day. And I'm just out here. Hundreds of cars are passing me by. Maybe somewhere in the range of maybe 20 different passengers or passerbys, I should say, right? Passerbys, they actually stop, ask me if I need any help. Right? People with different backgrounds and things like that. I say, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. And, I call the tow. They're coming. Other vehicles are finding ways to get around me. Some of them I'm having to direct them around myself, amazingly, right? It's kind of funny that you got to kind of tell people, go around, right? But, you know, for all intent and purpose, the vehicle actually looks fine. Probably from their point of view, it was just when you look at it from the side, that where the wheel became dislocated, where you could really see the damage. You really couldn't see that from the back or from the driver's side of the vehicle. Fine. So we're doing that. And police come by. They keep going. They see me stranded. Okay. I do set up something for my daughter to get to and fro work. So I go ahead and I take care of that. And mashallah, some Muslims start stopping through, right? I'm there, my thobe and such, and just stand on the side of the road in the middle of this circle, right? Muslims start stopping, and you know, a few of them recognize me. I'm not by the masjid where I normally am. I'm probably about an hour away from there, but Muslims see me and they stop, ask if I need any help. One of them turns out to be one of the brothers that comes and prays at the masjid where I normally am. And mashallah, you know, I'm like, well, look, what are you doing out here? And, you know, and I'm glad you stopped. I don't want to keep it from what you got going on. You know, he's like, no, I'm going to be with you. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to abandon you. Cool. One gentleman that stops by, now talking to the two of us, he gets out of his vehicle, pulls over, and we're in the brother's vehicle now because he has AC that stopped to help me. My car is still sitting in the middle of the road there in the circle. But we can see the vehicle where we are. It's walking, you know, maybe, I don't know, 15 paces from where we are. Comes out and starts asking questions and, you know, in a not so roundabout way. Although he is positioning it like he wants to help, but his series of questions are not help questions. He says he's a firefighter, wanted to know we're okay. We say we tell him we called a tow truck, whatever have you. He drives off. Okay. So that goes and happens. Now, a little while later, there's a sheriff who stops by. The sheriff stops by. He has a series of questions for us. And, well, for me, really. I answer his questions. I address him. And he seems, what's the word here? Disconnected. He seems very matter of fact, very emotionless, very much about process and whatever have you. And you may hear something in the background. I'm walking through the neighborhood here, and it is Sunday, so people still do what they do on Sunday. So in any regard, he comes now and he says, well, you called a tow. How long is the tow going to take? I say, well, they tell me 60 to 90 minutes. He's asking me what's the name of the tow truck company. He's asking me, well, where do I live at? Am I the registered owner of this vehicle? Am I this? Am I that? And, you know, where you going? Okay, well, who's that person? Where is that at? And, you know, this type of a direction and questioning, which I do get. He was attempting to assess the situation, but there was a direction with the questioning. Okay, so fine, we go through that. And nothing against, you know, the police. I have actually people that are close to me in different levels of policing, right? From state troopers to local police and things of that nature. So this isn't a thing of being against the police or anything like that. So nevertheless, he says, well, we can't leave the car in the highway here. I'm going to have to call one of our tow trucks to come get it. I'm like, I have one on the way, officer, you know, and the timeline is getting shorter. You know, it says 60 to 90 minutes, and then it says 37 to 63 minutes, and it's going down, right? So he tries to call this tow truck company. He doesn't get them. I continue to inform him mine is getting closer. He eventually does get a tow truck to come. His tow truck comes. My tow truck comes a couple minutes after his tow truck arrives. My house is about 5 minutes from where I'm at. It's literally down the street, one turn. I'm not even that far away. He turns my tow truck away, so my tow truck cannot service me. His tow truck picks up my car and gets ready to leave with my car. And I'm still standing there on the side of the road. I do got the brother there though. And I stop him and I say, hey, where you taking my car? He gives me a car that's coming to the shop. I said, well, why would you take it to the shop? My house is down the street. I needed to go to said address. He looks over to the cop. I look over to the cop. I say, hey, I need a car to go to my house. That's one issue. Another issue is I just paid for a tow. This guy is here. Who's paying him? So you're going to have me double pay? And the vehicle's going to go to a place that's where it's not even supposed to go? And I couldn't even use the first tow that I paid for. Oh, you got to work that out with your insurance company. We need you're stuck in traffic. Got to get the car off of the road. Yada, yada, yada. But my tow truck was right here and you turned it away. Okay, fine. So that goes and happens. So I asked the guy, I said, well, look, where you going? Where you going with my car? Right? He says, just take the card, whatever have you is there. Okay. He gets a call for another emergency. I'm going to switch hands here. He gets a call for another emergency. There's an accident. And, these tow guys that are contracted, at least to this particular sheriff department, they have to arrive within 20 minutes of the accident, right? That's the policy that they're under. So, in any regard, he's got to go. So he tells me, well, listen, I know that you're saying you're right. You live so close to here, but I got to go. So I'm going to drop the car at the shop. I'm going to go to this accident scene. I'm going to come back, get your car from the shop, bring it to your house. But I need you to call my boss, call the owner. Just tell him what I said, let him know what's going on. All right. He's got to run. My car is gone. The officer is still there. Now he's getting ready to pull off. And he's asking me, well, is there anything else that I can do for you all while I'm here? And I say, officer, I'm in a worse situation now than I was before you got here. My house is right down the street. My car is still not at my house. We're 2 tow trucks in that I paid twice for now. And I'm no closer to where I was trying to get. Actually, I'm further away now. And fine. And we're talking. And I'm calling the owner at the same time that I'm talking to the officer, the owner of the tow truck company that now has my car. And I'm in the midst of, I've got the officer in front of me, the owner of this tow truck company on the phone, and I'm feeling my pockets. I'm like, I don't got my keys. Oh, he took my keys. And I'm on the phone with the owner. I'm like, he got the keys to the house. He got the keys to my cars. He got the keys to my job. He got my keys to this and that. I don't got my keys. So now I can't even go home if I wanted to. So now I got to chase the car. And officer goes, he can't do nothing for me. The brother and I, we get in the car. We rush over to the shop. We see the car there. Of course, he's gone, the tow truck guy, because he's got to go deal with the accident. Okay. My car is sitting there. The hazard lights are on. The car is locked. No keys. Because the owner said we have a protocol. We got a policy that the keys are always in the car. And the car's going to be left unlocked. Don't worry about it. Now my battery's going to die with these hazards on. And I can't get in my car. And I still can't go back to my house. And on top of the fact that the owner is telling me that I can't even pay him. I owe him money, but I can't pay him, right? And I'm like, well, why can't I pay you? I got the money. I'm gonna pay you. He says, well, we only take cash. We don't take cards. And I'm not there. My guy's not there. So just come pick the car up on Monday. We'll sort it out then. And the shop is closed for the weekend. We can sort it out on Monday, and we can deal with the card or the cash thing on Monday. And I'm like, I need my car at my house, sir. So we're sitting there, and we have no other choice. I'm calling back and forth with the owner. I'm left with no other choice but to just sit there and wait for the tow guy to come back from the other emergency where he went to go get those other cars. So we're sitting there for a couple hours. I'm just watching my hazards go. Can't get into my car, waiting for the battery to die. And alhamdulillah, the brother that is with me, I'm taking him from the reason why he was going wherever he was going in the first place. He's very patient with me. Hours are passing by at this point, right? So eventually, now a couple hours after being at the shop, right? And a couple hours after being at the shop now, sitting there waiting, sitting on the car, we're probably 4 hours into this whole ordeal now at this point, right? So he finally comes back. He comes back. He's not expecting me to actually be sitting there waiting on him, squatting on him, but where am I going to go? You got my car, my battery's going to die. You got the keys to my house. You guys are saying that I owe you money that I can't pay you for because you're not going to take the money that I have to pay you. Where you expect me to go? I'm right here, right? Fine. So I speak to him. He's asking what I want to do. I say, I still want the same thing that I said I wanted in the beginning in our first conversation. I want the car in front of my house, sir. So, all right, well, I got to go run. I got to do something for another family member now. Because this guy, he's been towing all day, right? He wants to go home, right? He's been working. I get that. I'm like, well, I get that. But we still got this over here. He's like, well, the owner has to dispatch me out. He's got to tell you what the price is going to be. And he's got to give me the order to do it. Would you like me to call him? Not a problem. I call him. He's not expecting me to call him back. I call him, hey, your guy's here. I still need to get the car to my house. What we going to do? So that becomes a bit of a back and forth. And, the cost is the cost. He's like, you got the money? I say, yes, I got the money. Well, we only take cash. Okay, well, then I need to go to a bank. Okay, so I get the cash and then what? So he goes silent. He thinks for a minute because now, he realized I'm not letting him out of it. And he realized that I've gotten jerked and he's been a part of the jerking me, right? So he talks to the guy. He tells him to do it. We come up with a price. And I tell the guy, well, okay, well, look, you got to go get the tow truck guy. You got to go get your relative. I got to go get the cash out of the bank. I'll do that. I'll meet you right back here in a few minutes so we can go take care of the car. Right? So that happens. Fine. So we do that. We get the car back to the house. It's about a 10-minute drive, right? So this whole time I'm never further away than 10 minutes from the crib. Whole time, right? 10-minute drive, that happens, we do it. Okay. We get the car there, and now we done gone through after Dhuhr, we done gone through Asr, we were in Maghrib, right? We're knocking the door on Isha at this point, right? All day, right? This is like a 6-hour endeavor on when I came out of my house would have been 20 minutes round trip, right? So we were pushing 6 hours plus, and I'm just outside and dealing with all this. Fine. So we get it there. He goes to drop the car, and because the wheel is dislocated, wheel is off, right? Disconnected. When he puts the car down, now his toe is stuck under my car, and if he pulls it out, it's going to rip off my bumper to the car. So he can't do that. So we're like, well, what are we going to do? You got a jack? Yeah, I got jacks. I got like 3 or 4 jacks, no problem. So I go to a different vehicle in the trunk to go pull out where I got a couple jacks, and it just so happened that because I had other vehicles that were being worked on, my jacks are in other vehicles out of town. I don't have a jack. And I got this tow truck stuck up under my car. It's going to rip off the bumper. MashaAllah. Brother that's with me, he's got a car jack. He gets his jack. We jack the car up. The tow truck guy gets his tow from up under my car. We go to release the jack to load the car back down to the ground so it can set. Now we can't get the jack out from under the car because now the weight of the car is making the jack stuck. So the tow truck guy has to lift the car back up. We go find a brick or something like that and place the brick under the car. Now we can release the tow and the jack. And alhamdulillah, I get to walk in the house just before Isha and spend a few minutes with my family before the night is over, and took them out for some ice cream, right? So we say all of this to say that we have to believe in the Qadr of Allah. We have to believe in the decree of Allah. There is no way possible that all those negative things line up back to back and stack up, odds against you, except that Allah decreed that. No way. And I may be missing a few things here in the story because I'm just kind of spitballing with you guys. No way that many negative things stack up and line up like that, right? So you realize it's a test from Allah. You remain patient, obedient. You seek your reward from Allah, and you know with certainty that the relief is coming, and that there is raise of stature for you in this life and hereafter, that there is a purification for your soul and expiation, forgiveness of sin, and you interact with the Qadr of Allah that you dislike this way because you believe that there's wisdom in this experience that you're going through, and eventually there's a greater good that will come out of this. So you move through and you attempt to keep a smile on your face, as frustrating as it may be, and understand that it could be different. Perhaps just think about, what if I had my children, one of my babies in the car, and this happened, right? What if I'm on the highway doing 70, 80 miles an hour and I'm not just in my local neighborhood and this happens, right? I could have easily skidded, gone out of control, and lost my life, right? If that happened in a different scenario. So there's so many different things that we can think about this way, and just appreciate the mercy of Allah, appreciate the favor of Allah, and find ways to be grateful to our Lord, regardless of whatever our circumstance may be. Collect your thoughts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.